all men are created equal, I disagree, because J.J. Watt and I were not created the same.
It's clean.
It's clean.
No flag.
Yeah.
And then take a look at the beak. That's a Tim Crumrye nose right there.
If y'all watch any of my videos, you know this channel is built off of controversial takes, such as John Cena beating John Jones in a fight, hell, LeBron beating Michael Jordan in a fight. Why are all these niggas fighting each other?
He was just stepping out to the little party, and another night ended up with a body. Big booty bitch, way bigger than Mazzani. While he cool with the wood like design. Why I hit the top to go back.
But if we're gonna get my realest, hottest take, I think I know what it is. I think this man peaked the highest out of any defensive player in NFL history. J.J. Watt. When you think of the greatest defensive players of all time, you think of names like Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders, Ronnie Lott, and a more recent cat, Aaron Donald. It has been making me so mad about how J.J. Watt hasn't been given his flowers, because in the early 2010s to the mid 2010s, people thought the two greatest defensive player of all time was going to be one LT, two J.J. Watt, and it's a tragedy injuries derailed his career. It's not that we don't give J.J. Watt his flowers, I just think as the years go on, we're going to be forgetting J.J. Watt as one of the greatest defensive players of all time. And I think we should really appreciate how good this motherfucker was in his prime, because it was ridiculous. He was a confirmed white problem on that field. And saying he just got sacks was an understatement. This cat could do it all. He's the only player with 10 passes defended and 20 sacks in a season. In 2014, where he had 20.5 sacks for the second season, he scored 5 touchdowns as well. And not to mention, he should have became the first defensive player since Lawrence Taylor to win the MVP in 2014. With 5 touchdowns, 10 passes defended, and 20.5 sacks. I get giving it to the quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, but I think J.J. Watt's season was just straight up special and something we'll never see again. He is the only player in NFL history that has 15% of the total sacks for the NFL franchise he played for. 15% of their total sacks in team history. Granted, the Houston Texans were founded in 2002, but regardless, that's insane. Oh, my dread's messy as hell, bro. And not to mention, when he wasn't injured, he had 4 15+ sack seasons. That's second all time to Reggie White. Now, I won't be surprised if TJ breaks this, but that's another story for real. Sometimes this white boy would hit a black quarterback too hard, and I'd genuinely start tweaking. You know when something's not racist, but you think it's racist? That's how hard this motherfucker was hitting these niggas out there. Okay, back on top. And not to mention, at this dude's peak of his powers, he brought home 3 Defensive Player of the Years, which only 2 other players have done. Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald. If these 2 aren't in your GOAT conversations for defensive players in NFL history, you're fucking bonkers. And this is also why I made this video. In the future, there's gonna be a lot of cats with higher sack totals than this dude J.J. Watt. Think of the Von Millers of the world. Think of the Terrell Suggs of the world. Think of the Khalil Mack. Think of Julius Peppers. Think of DeMarcus Ware. Now y'all hearing all these names and think it's a hot take, but at the time I promise you it wasn't. J.J. Watt is the better defensive player than all of these players I just named. The career total stats might say different, how they dominated an era, how they dominated a league. None of these players dominated the league as much as J.J. Watt did in his prime. And I'd even go to argue that he peaked higher in his prime than Lawrence Taylor. Y'all old heads ain't gonna like that. Comment down below. I know y'all old heads ain't even gonna like that. If you really look at it analytically, if you look at it statistically, you can make the argument J.J. Watt in his prime was just as good as Lawrence Taylor. And mind you, J.J. Watt is playing a defensive end position. Lawrence Taylor was an outside linebacker. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying J.J. Watt's greater all time than Lawrence Taylor. I'm simply saying J.J. Watt simply had the potential to be the greatest defensive player we've ever seen. And I think he peaked the highest out of any defensive player in NFL history. And I don't think it's that dumb of a take to even make or claim, but I appreciate all the support, y'all. I love uploading these videos. I'm recording this late at night. I look drowsy, my hair's not done, and if you don't like that my hair's not done and I look messy, go comment about it. That's all your bitch ass can do. But with that being said, like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all boys later. Thanks for the support.
Rid of it first, and here we go. J.J. Green, Dandy Dalton, backwards pass, that's still alive, doesn't matter if it hit the ground. With Giovanni Bernard, he'll try to keep it alive. Bernard at the 30, throw it back to Dalton, who catches it, runs with it, and he's got to throw it backwards, back to his center, that Bodine, who got eliminated by J.J. Watt. And that's over.
JJ says game over.
Win on the road.